Hi, it's Laura at Aquamarine 18 Tarot and Books. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. Welcome or welcome back. This is a VR to Amy over at Strength Reversed, who has created a tag called New Year, New Tarot 2024. I will link Amy's video where she introduces the tag in the description box below. I'll also timestamp the 8 prompts. I like this tag because it has some prompts in it that haven't yet come up for me, even though I've already done a couple of kind of New Year related videos or end of year video as well. So a couple of these I've kind of mentioned here and there, but quite a few of them I haven't. So I thought that I would participate in this tag. The first prompt is the card of the year 2023, the card that sums up this past year. So I decided to pick some cards that kind of sum up my year rather than just share what my numerical card of the year for 2023 was, if that makes sense. I feel like 2023, for much of the time anyway, was a kind of Seven of Wands, Nine of Wands kind of a time for me. It felt like it was always one thing after another, particularly in the context of health. It was the year in my life so far when I've spent the most time with specialists of various sorts. It was just a time of finally feeling like I'd recovered from something and then something else hitting me and knocking me down again. So it really felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. It felt like anytime I felt like I had felt better, that it wasn't actually the case. Anytime I started to feel better from something health-wise, I would kind of think to myself, okay, this this means something else is going to arise, right? Um, like the root canal is resolved, then it's the severe flu. The flu seems to be better, but then there's kind of post-flu symptoms. Those seem to be kind of alleviating, and then it's COVID for the first time, and it's just one thing after another thing after another thing that felt like an onslaught. So that's why I chose these cards. Toward the end of the year, it became more like a Three of Wands. Apparently, 2023 was Wands for me. At the end of any calendar year, I do tend to get this bit of a burst of planning energy. I know I'm far from alone in this, day planner season rolls around and thinking about New Year's resolutions starts to happen. And so towards the very, very end of the year, it was definitely a more optimistic, things are moving along. I'm looking ahead to what I would like the next year to look like. And so that I can think of as the Three of Wands. And I'm happy to be much more feeling like a Three of Wands than the Seven and the Nine that I felt like for a lot of the year. And health stuff is pretty good right now. So I'm grateful for that. The next prompt is Card of the Year 2024, the card that represents the upcoming new year. So this year I decided to draw a card of the year. I shuffled a majors only deck. And instead of, doing the math calculation, I drew at random, as I do when I'm doing a tarot reading, right? And so my card of the year for 2024 is the World. And I chose this from the Mindscapes Tarot by John Rice. This is a majors only deck. And I was happy to pick this card. I mean, I'm sure I would have been kind of happy in one way or another and found some good things to work with no matter what card I had drawn. But picking a card that is associated with Saturn aligns nicely with my annual profection year, so that felt synchronous in that sense. So the World card is the card that I drew. I then did a 4-prompt reading about my card of the year. And that reading is from my friend Sarah over at Waterchild Tarot. She has videos about it. And I'm not going to share the whole spread here, but for the prompt, what is the most important aspect of my card of the year for 2024 this year? For that, I drew the Knight of Cups. And I specifically drew this Knight of Cups from the Fyodor Pavlov tarot. And I'll just share a little bit of what Fyodor has to say about his Knight of Cups. I really like this book and I really like this deck. I won't read the whole entry because it's not that short, but Fyodor Pavlov writes of this knight. Usually all the knights in the minor arcana are depicted atop their horses, but I wanted my Knight of Cups to stand beside his, on equal footing as devoted companions, rather than rider and steed. Later on in the entry, Fyodor writes, the knight takes the time in his journey to rest and appreciate the moment, to dream and to let his mind wander as he refreshes. He should not linger there too long and risk being caught up in his contemplation and becoming distracted from his quest. The knight is still a card of action, but it is in his nature to dream and be guided by his creative vision. And I quite like that for this Knight of Cups. And I like that the knight is standing beside the horse there. And so I've been thinking about that in the context of this world card, and thinking about the world card in the context of being a druid, having an earth-centric or nature-centric practice that is a practice with contemplative aspects to it, but is one that the contemplative aspects are in service of the earth, right? In service of our relationship with the living earth, in service of, walking on the earth in better ways, that impact the earth positively rather than negatively. And so there's lots that I can piece together here that I'm looking forward to exploring in 2024. The third prompt is the tarot practice or habit that I am leaving behind in 2024. I like this question. And my answer to this question is compartmentalizing. I am leaving behind treating tarot practice as this kind of discrete entity that is detached from the rest of my life. I don't know that this is exactly a practice or a habit, but it's certainly a, to me, trap that I can fall into at times where I might, do a reading because I love doing a reading, and then the reading kind of figuratively goes in one ear and out the other, and I don't action anything from it. Or, I can think of my tarot practice as, a thing I do at certain times, and this is my tarot practice, and it's kind of under the umbrella of the druid practice, but it's its own little corner of that, separate from my work life and my relationship life and my family life and all of these other things, right? And I'm trying to decompartmentalize my spiritual life as much as possible. I'm not anti-compartmentalizing as a general rule. I think that there's a place for this. Like, I think for me, in the job that I work in, for example, like being able to leave work at work and not bring particular aspects of my work home with me, like that kind of boundary setting is really, really important. But I want my tarot practice to be integrated with the rest of my life in a way that supports the rest of my life, that informs the rest of my life, that is a source of inspiration. And so anything that I can do to leave behind that compartmentalizing, I'm interested in doing. The fourth prompt is tarot practice or habit I'm embracing in 2024. And I would say broadly, confidence. Confidence in tarot reading. I would like to read for other people more. I'm not looking to start a business. I'm not looking to become a professional tarot reader, really, but I would like it to be kind of out there that doing readings is a thing that I do and can do and will do for people who are interested in that. And, maybe that looks like swapping readings with other readers. Maybe that looks like exchanging tarot reading for something else in the context of kind of friend and family relationships. It could look like a lot of things. But I would like to read for others more, certainly. And in terms of tarot reading confidence, I also would like that to maybe come across in my YouTube a little bit more. I think that on some kind of subconscious level, I have at times been hesitant to put out more instructional kinds of tarot content, feeling like, oh, I'm not an expert. There's so many people who've been doing this longer than me. I haven't published a tarot book. Lots of other people have published tarot books. Like it's kind of it gets in your head, this kind of imposter, syndrome. And this is something that I have grappled with in other areas, even when I am actually the expert, the moment of they're going to let me teach a class, that's something. I would like to be more confident in sharing my tarot reading knowledge. And, maybe that even looks like doing a tarot workshop in, my offline life or something like that. I'm not putting too many kind of concrete things on this, but I would say to embrace in 2024 tarot confidence. The fifth prompt is decks going on hiatus in 2024. I already shared not very long ago a video about decks that I've rehomed in 2023 and decks that I was thinking about rehoming soon. Since I made that video, I have in fact passed along, 3 or 4 decks from that video that I had been thinking about finding new homes for. So I would say the decks going on hiatus in 2024 are the ones that I am gifting along or selling or trading out of my own collection. That would be the hiatus. Decks that I'm welcoming into 2024 is the sixth prompt. Decks I'm welcoming, show off new decks or wish list decks. One of the decks that I am welcoming, which is not here yet, so I don't have anything to show you, but that I'm very excited about, is the Gay Marseille by Charlie Claire Burgess, who also created the Fifth Spirit Tarot. The Gay Marseille was a Kickstarter deck that fully funded during 2023. It is roughly on schedule in terms of being printed. I'm hoping that it arrives in March because that's my birthday month. But I'm very excited to welcome the Gay Marseille into my life. Very, very excited. Seventh prompt, the biggest tarot takeaway of 2023. A memorable lesson, fact, spread, or understanding. I really like this prompt, and this is the one that I had to think about the most. Biggest tarot takeaway of 2023. And mine is how much I really fucking love daily draws. I have tried daily draws at different stages of my tarot practice. Sometimes I've done them, for long periods of time. Sometimes I've gone without them for years and, they've never quite stuck. 2023 is the year that daily draws stuck. And they stuck in a way that I have found extraordinarily useful. So throughout the year, I experimented with different kinds of prompts, different kinds of functions for my daily draw to fulfill. I landed for most of the year on some kind of 2-card spread, like what's going on today and how can I best navigate it, or what do I need to know about my day and how can I best prepare for it? This kind of half forecast, half advice model of a daily draw. And I found that has really worked nicely for me. In 2024, that's already taken a bit more of a shift in that I'm adjusting the prompts slightly every day based on astrological transits and the moon cycle and astrology forecasts that I read. So I'm still doing the daily draw and it's still a 2-card and it still has this kind of dual forecast advice character to it, but depending on what's going on in, the solar system, I'm adjusting the emphasis here and there. If there's a transit that really suggests a great day for creative projects, for example, I might just key my daily draw to that a little bit and ask about where to find inspiration and what I could do on a creative project. Things like that. And I now love daily draws. And other than, the odd day in 2023 when I was genuinely too sick to function, I pretty much did them every day. And so that's the biggest takeaway of 2023 is loving daily draws. Tarot plans for 2024. This is the last prompt. Goals, resolutions, or focuses for the new year tarot plans 2024. The big one that I've already shared in my 2024 goals video is that I want to study Marseille. I finally have, and I'm waiting on the game Marseille, but I finally have a little collection of Marseille decks that I genuinely like looking at, that I want to use, that I would feel happy and comfortable using to read for other people. And I also have some books that are very specifically Marseille focused, like not Pip reading, but Marseille specifically. And so I want to make that an exploration for 2024. The other one that I'll share that I haven't shared but that this tag made me think about. Just something about the way these prompts are worded made me think about this. Tarot plan for 2024 is to spend more time enjoying my tarot practice than analyzing my tarot practice and what it should and shouldn't look like. I think a lot of us do a lot of this. And it's unsurprising. And this isn't even a criticism, really. I think that we spend a lot of time discussing and thinking about and reflecting on and doing tarot readings about and journaling about what our tarot practice looks like, what kind of role it has in our life, how we might best work with it, how we should be working with it, what our goals about tarot are, what we don't want to be doing with our tarot practice, all of these things. And I think that these are important, reflections to have. Obviously, things like what kind of readings you will and won't do for people. These are important things to think about, right? Before you start throwing your name out there as someone who's going to do tarot readings. But I want to just lean into enjoying my tarot practice and let my tarot practice be a thing that is a wonderful part of my life and not spend too much time dissecting my tarot collection, dissecting my reading style, dissecting my tarot reader inadequacies, like any of these things. I just want to enjoy tarot in 2024. That is my plan. And I'm glad for this tag because that really, for whatever reason, made me acknowledge that in an explicit way. And I'm grateful for that. So thank you to Amy for starting this fun tag. I look forward to seeing other folks' VRs. Again, the original is linked below as well as the timestamps. I wish you all a belated happy 2024, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.